Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Mole and Avogadro's number. This is the last topic of our first chapter. First of all, we are going to discuss some basic units. For example, you went to marketplace in order to buy some pencils. So if you want to buy pencils, you tell the shopkeeper that give me a dozen of pencils. So that shopkeeper will give you 12 units of pencils, means these pencils will be 12 in number. Similarly, one pair is equal to 2. For example, pair of shoes are 2 in number. Similarly, pair of socks are 2 in number. So in chemistry language, in order to measure small particles, for example atoms, molecules, we use a unit which is known as mole. Now, what is mole in chemistry subject? Mole is actually the amount of substance that contains the same number of atoms, molecules or particles as atoms in carbon 12. As you remember that in previous lectures we have discussed carbon 12 in detail. That was actually the measuring quantity of measuring different elements. We used carbon 12 just as a in place of weight. Now similarly, 1 mole of any substance is equal to 6.02 into 10 raised to power 23 particles. Example, we have two different quantities, one is gold and other one is water. Now atoms present in 1 mole of gold is equal to 6.02 into 10 raised to power 23 atoms. Similarly, molecules present in 1 mole of water will also be equal to 6.02 into 10 raised to power 23 molecules. But remember one thing, these two different elements will be equal in number, but they will be different in their masses, because mass of gold atoms is different than mass of water molecules. For example, after that discussion, we comes to the conclusion that 1 mole of any substance is equal to its molar mass. Now 1 mole of carbon atom is equal to 12 gram, because its molar mass is equal to 12 gram. Similarly, mass of 1 mole of water is equal to 18 gram, because molar mass of water is equal to 18 gram. Now, what is Avogadro's number? It is represented by capital alphabet N with a small capital A. Avogadro was an Italian scientist and its name was Lorenzo Romano Emidio Carlo Avogadro, who first introduced the Avogadro number, that we have to represent small quantities in a specific unit. So Avogadro was thinking about that how can we use it. He introduced that Avogadro number, which is equal to 6.02 into 10 raised to power 23 atoms. So he said that 1 mole of any material, whether it is gold, silver or copper, will be equal to 6.02 into 10 raised to power 23. All of these three different elements, number of atoms will be equal. But remember one thing, their mass will always be different, because the size of atoms of these three different elements are also different from one another. So 1 mole of different substance will be same in number of atoms. This was his concept, that for simplification he introduced a standard unit, and that standard unit was known as Avogadro number, and that Avogadro number has a fixed value, which is equal to 6.02 multiplied by 10 raised to power 23 particles. So for simplification, this was later on used as a international system, because for measurement of such small amount of particles, it is very difficult to use gram, kilogram instead of Avogadro number. So that number is very accurate for measuring small particles. Now we come to the conclusion that 1 mole of any substance, any type of atom, whether it is carbon, it is nitrogen, it is sulfur, it is uranium, anything, is equal to 6.02 multiplied by 10 to the power 23 atoms.